Social media. High school students are fairly familiar with the term, as many of them use platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter on a daily basis. Drawn to the rewarding feeling of likes and followers, many students use social media as a way to boost their self-esteem and connect with friends. However, it is likely that social media is actually having the opposite effect on us. Chances are, social media is turning us into jerks. Here's why.
Bullies can be uncharacteristically rude to others online and never see the repercussions. In fact, about 37% of all young people between ages 12 and 17 have been bullied online. This is because social media encourages users to say things that they would not normally say face-to-face. You know that feeling of invincibility when you hide behind a screen. This happens because technological interactions don't require the same emotional and cognitive involvement as face-to-face interactions. We think we are communicating with the screen instead of the people behind the screen. This, in turn, removes a lot of sympathy required for interpersonal communication, and therefore we are more likely to say things that are callous and rude.
On top of that, social media connects us with millions of people around the world, which is amazing. However, this connectivity exposes us to one of the largest social hierarchies to ever exist. What is a social hierarchy, you might ask? Well, a social hierarchy is essentially the big pyramid that we arrange ourselves into. The people at the top have the most influence and the people at the bottom have the least. Not only are our brains literally hardwired to recognize these dominance hierarchies, but they're also built to find their very own niche in them, including on social media. On these platforms, dominance hierarchies are about attention, and particularly who has the most of it. Social media platforms utilize systems of followers and likes to indicate who has the most fame, popularity, and therefore attention. Chances are, you're not at the top of this pyramid. In fact, you're more likely to be in the middle or even lower. But we all definitely want to be higher up on that social ladder. So how do we do it? How do we socially rise above all of our peers? Well, Jared Lanier, author of the book 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts Right Now, points out that there are two options that lead to people getting attention on social media: being absurdly nice and being absurdly mean. And it is evident that most viable way for people to gain attention on social media, yeah, you guessed it, is to fall on the ladder of these two extremes. That's right, they become absolute jerks. You've seen it before, people. Aspiring superstars desperately seeking attention to the point that they're rude even to their very own friends. But the worst part is, guys, that they're just like you and me. These people get so caught up in their own image that they forget about how they're treating others. This could happen to anyone. Nobody's immune.
Social media is addicting. Have you ever noticed when you use social media, you tend to be more aggressive? Do you ever feel like you just can't put your technology away? Have you ever wondered why? Based on a 2012 study, researchers discovered that internet addiction, or AID, ignites the same reaction from the brain as drugs. They call this white matter. White matter is essentially the nerve highway that connects all the parts of the brain together and lets them communicate. This is vital in determining human behavior. CBS says that an increased presence of this white matter has shown evidence of disrupting pathways related to emotions, decision-making, and self-control. In 2014, there was a 25-year-old man that had been playing a certain video game every day, 8 hours a day for 2 straight years. This is equivalent to a full-time job. Let's call this guy Prison Mike. Prison Mike was addicted. This game gave Mike a supreme sense of satisfaction. It boosted his self-esteem and, I quote, made him feel like a god. However, when he and his parents recognized that he had a serious problem, Mike attempted to quit playing. This led to the incident. Within 24 hours, Prison Mike had a full psychological breakdown. Although this is an extreme case, we have to understand the consequences of being addicted to something. Mike's addiction gave him a sense of superiority over others. Like Prison Mike, when we put ourselves on a pedestal, we automatically believe ourselves to be better than the next person, when in reality, we are simply putting others down. Therefore, social media addiction also turns people into the same jerks who try to climb that social ladder.
Social media, while fun, is taking away what makes us human: empathy. that ability we have that helps us understand the people around us. Living behind a fake name housed in your phone removes the need to actually talk, communicate, and connect with the real world and everyone living in it. We become desensitized to what's happening around us. When you take away a person's emotion, vulnerability, and liveliness, what's left? This is why we believe that social media is turning us all into jerks.